Terri Janke and Company is a unique Australian law firm. Unlike any in the country, we set up to empower Indigenous people in commercial law, specifically intellectual property. That was the area that fascinated me, working in the arts and the needs of Indigenous artists. I really wanted to meet that, but now we act for cultural institutions, we act for them, we also act for companies, from working in construction to graphic design to acting for dance companies. It's really diversified. It's been 20 years since I finished law school. It took me a while to find my fit in the legal profession, and it was the arts and copyright and working for Indigenous artists that got me there. And it was because of the lack of rights, the fact that there were shortfalls in the law that applied for the way that Indigenous artists innovate and share their creations. But it was also an access issue too, because we didn't have commercial law firms, we didn't have copyright lawyers, there weren't any Indigenous professionals offering that service. So I thought, well, that's what I want to do. And it all started with that spark of when I learnt about what copyright and intellectual property was. I thought, my God, that's a whole area of law that is so relevant to Indigenous people. I can remember we set up in Redfern, or Abercrombie Street, 16 years ago now, and I had one client and it was just like, where's the next client coming from? I've got no idea. I would have been the only totally non-government funded, independent Indigenous law firm at the time, and the barriers were so high. I probably am the only Torres Strait Islander that has their own law firm. I'm very proud to be a Torres Strait Islander. It is always inspiring for me to connect with Torres Strait Islander people, Torres Strait Islander cultures, but I'm also Aboriginal as well, so I have mainland Indigenous heritage. When I went to law school, I had wanted to work in an area of law that could help Indigenous people. And at the time, people would think the more obvious places for an Indigenous lawyer to work would be with justice systems. I thought that there was much more that we as a people could get from a positive application of the law that could in turn have benefits that are economic and cultural. I wanted to be more positive. That's just always the way I think I am programmed. I always want to look at things positively.